Have you ever had a dream, ladies and gentlemen? A dream you thought was real? What if you couldn't wake from this dream? How could you tell the difference between the dream world and the real world? James Lane here, folks, and earlier tonight, we had a dream. The Republicans had a dream. We dreamt, we believed, we saw that our constituents in Wayne County, Michigan had a spine, had a backbone, wouldn't cower to the leftist mob, only to be disappointed and find out just hours after they voted against certifying the election results that they changed course and sided with the radical left, voting to certify the fraudulent election results of Wayne County. Is it possible they were threatened? Sure, it's possible, and we've got some information on that, but does it really matter? I think what matters is whether or not you are willing to stand up, to have the conviction of character, to have the conviction of your beliefs, and stand up to the left. And obviously, the Republicans in Wayne County, Michigan were too cowardice to do so. We're going to talk about that next and a little bit more in this upcoming clip. Stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, James Lane here, and how you doing tonight? It's Tuesday night, November the 17th. I just want to check in with you. I wanted to talk about some interesting stuff that's coming out of Michigan because earlier tonight, just like you, I was elated. I was excited. I saw earlier in the day that Republicans had some cojones, some testicular fortitude, a spine in Wayne County and stood up for the truth and fought back against the left, only to be disappointed hours later. Like I said in the intro to this video, only to be disappointed hours later and find out that they turned their back on the people. Were they threatened? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were. In fact, I've got some information on that, like I said before. But we have to start from the beginning and take a linear path through the facts. So I've got a couple good articles here that are going to really tie together what the hell is actually going on in Michigan. And I think when we're all done here, you're really going to enjoy where we get off the bus. And folks, if you like what I'm doing here, if you support what I'm doing, if you really believe in the cause, do me a favor. If you're watching this on YouTube, watching this on Rumble, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you see when my content comes out. We drop videos all the time. And if you're on Parler, I need you to find me, the American Revelry. I'm at the James Lane. That's my Parler handle, at the James Lane. Please follow me, hit the notification bell. I'm really, really, really looking forward to you being around, hanging around, talking to you in the comments, and interacting with you guys through social media. Folks, we need to do some reading, okay? We really have to get caught up on this, and we have to start from the beginning. So if you've heard this story already, I apologize, but it is integral to what we're going to explain by the time we get through this. Folks, Gateway Pundit, this is from Kristen Taylor, came out earlier today. The board refuses to certify Wayne County, Michigan election results. And Wayne County, if you didn't know, encompasses Detroit. That's where a lot of the fraud is coming out of. So, folks, let's do some reading. The Wayne County, Michigan Board of Canvassers deadlocked on a 2-2 party line vote on whether to certify the results of the November 3rd elections, with the two Republican members refusing to approve the vote because of poll books that did not match poll tallies. All right, that's very important. The books need to match. If you've ever worked in any place before, any business, you know that they have books in the books in the back. You compare those books to the accounting of the day, and you know what's going on. You know what you've made, where the money's going, and all of that stuff. And the same applies to votes. It's a level of accountability to be able to cross-reference these things. So you have poll books, and they're supposed to match the tallies. What's written is supposed to match the count. Wayne County didn't do that. Wayne County includes the city of Detroit, where most of the problems occurred. Like I just said, according to the current count, Joe Biden leads President Trump by just under 150,000 votes statewide. There's one of those jagoffs, excuse my language, blocking the view of people, as you heard earlier in the Pennsylvania courts. They were actually talking about how they had nothing in the Constitution. You heard how the observers had to stand 20, 30 feet away. The Supreme Court of Pennsylvania actually ruled against us and said that doesn't matter. It's not written down. So that'll end up actually going up and up and up till it gets to the Supreme Court. But I'm going on a tangent here. Let me get back to this. I digress. You remember when they were putting up the drywall, the sheetrock, or whatever that is, the big cardboard on the windows in Michigan so nobody could see? A lot of fishy stuff happened. The next step will be for the State Board of Elections to review the Wayne County results and decide on whether to certify the votes. The State Board is likewise made up of 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats. If that board deadlocks, then it would go to the Republican state legislature. All right? Let's see. I don't want to get you caught up in the minutia of this. Go off on a tangent here. The decision came. Let's see. There's something really important I wanted to read to you. Let's just go through this for a second. The decision came after absentee ballot poll books at 70% of Detroit's 134 absentee county boards were found to be out of balance without explanation. The mismatches varied anywhere from 1 to more than 4 votes. More than 4 doesn't say a lot, but it says plenty. Folks, the books need to match. If there's miscounts, they have to be audited. And if those audits fail, they have to be recounted. If those recounts fail, they have to be thrown out. That's how anything works. Have you ever worked in retail? Have you ever gone through an inventory? Is there anyone here that's ever worked at Walmart or Lowe's or Toys R Us or any of those places? Best Buy, twice a year, once a year, a whole team of bean counters come in and go on their little boards, and they count everything and put little tags on everything. They do an inventory to see how much in and out you have, how much shrink you have, what your losses, what your actual numbers are. Then you compare that to the books and you get a percentage and you know how much you screwed up or not. That's exactly what has to happen here, and that's exactly what's not going to happen. In August, canvassers found 72% of Detroit's absentee voting precincts didn't match the numbers of ballots cast. The imbalances between August and November are not an exact comparison, since August canvassing was based on results from 503 precincts, and November's canvassing was based on 134. It's a big difference. Folks, here is what the Republicans said earlier, okay? This is what they said earlier that made us get so excited. We were so thrilled. This is Chairwoman Monica Palmer, and we went, Monica, yes, Monica. Not the Monica with Bill. This is a different Monica. Monica Palmer, the chairwoman in Wayne County, a Republican, defended the decision to vote against certifying the election results. Quote, based on what I saw and when I went through the poll books, this canvass, I believe that we did not have a complete and accurate information in these books. She didn't believe that an accurate election had taken place. She just didn't. So they voted against it. I mean, that's what happens. Detroit had problems with precinct count mismatches in November 2016 election. Officials couldn't reconcile vote totals for 59% of precincts in the city during a countywide canvass of vote results, with most of the issues involving too many votes. And that was a big deal. We're going to talk about that in a little bit as well, because you can't have more votes than what there are in population. Like, if there's 10 people and 20 votes come in, you have to go, where did the other 10 votes come from? That's exactly what's happening here. And that's something Trump mentions. Excuse me. And we're going to talk about that actually at the end of this video. I got like hold on. It's like there's a dog hair in my mouth. I'm sure many of you have dogs. It's not one of my gray beard hairs. It's a dog hair. Don't worry. It's a little grosser. But anyway, excuse me. The people of Michigan deserve to know what happened in Wayne County on Election Day and the days following. I am proud that due to the efforts of the Michigan Republican Party, the Republican National Committee, and the Trump campaign, enough evidence of irregularities and potential voter fraud was uncovered, resulting in the Wayne County Board of Canvassers refusing to certify their election results. This action will allow more time for us to get to the bottom of these deeply troubling irregularities. The people of Michigan deserve fair, open, and transparent elections, and we will continue to fight just for that. And man, we were excited. I was so excited when I heard that earlier. But just like a lot of Republicans we're seeing right now, when they think that fake President-elect Biden is getting in, we see them kind of warming up, buttering up to the other side, loosening their integrity, losing the faith, if you will, revealing their true colors. So too did the cowards in Wayne County. Take a look at this. Breaking. This is from just a little while ago. Republicans cave in Wayne County, Michigan, and they vote to certify the election results. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I mean, we're still going to win in the end here, folks. This is just going to become a more annoying process in Michigan, that's all. They could have done the right thing here, but instead they caved. The two Republicans, by the way, this is Kristen Taylor once again. I think she's on the whole shtick of, Michigan. I think that's her line. Her boss went up to her and said, Kristen, listen to me. You're covering Michigan. You're going to write all the crap on Michigan. And she was like, well, I don't like Michigan. So anyway, she got stuck in Michigan. She didn't have a choice. Too bad. Kristen Taylor reporting on Michigan, breaking. Republicans cave in Wayne County, Michigan, vote to certify election results. The two Republicans on the 4-member board of canvassers for Wayne County, Michigan, reversed course Tuesday night, voting to certify the county's election results after initially refusing to do so due to irregularities in polling books, mainly in the city of crooked Detroit. Oh, Detroit. The 4-member board comprised of 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans, earlier deadlocked at 2-2. However, after listening to residents' concerns during a virtual public meeting and getting threats online, of course, the Republicans voted to certify the vote, but asked Democrat Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson to audit certain precincts with problems. That sounds like they were threatened, and the Democrats offered them a little piece of cake, a little negotiation, a little carrot to dangle in front of them, and they took whatever out they could get because cowards take the path of least resistance. I'm sorry if I hear different, if I find out later something different happened, this is part of a bigger plan somehow to help, then I will apologize. I'll recant what I said. But right now, I smell chicken and I am hungry. Ladies and gentlemen, this is ridiculous, okay? We know what's happened here. There's not really much more on this. The election wizard, who Trump quote tweeted, commented on the cave by the Republican canvassers, quote, Wayne County election officials spectacularly caved under political pressure in a matter of hours. Wayne County went from we're unable to certify because more people voted than were signed in to vote to looks good enough for government work. The Michigan legislature needs to take swift and immediate action. What happened with the Wayne County Board of Canvassers tonight is third world level, crooked and embarrassing. And folks, take it from a man right here, James Lane, who's lived in the third world, not visited, lived in the third world. This is third world level crooked. I always forget her name, even though I said it 10 times earlier. Kristen Taylor, I respect you using that language because, like you just said, this is third world crooked. They had hours of angry responses from residents. The change in course was approved by the 2 Republicans and 2 Democrat canvassers with the demand that the Secretary of State do a comprehensive audit, which probably won't happen because this is crooked as hell and we're done. The book shuts. But How can you shut the book when you find out who was actually threatening people, folks? And before we get into that, I just want to say, I know I've been a little bit angry with these people, and I'm sorry if you're a turn the cheek type of person, but I carry a sword, and maybe that sword's the sword of truth, and maybe I'm a little blunt, but I'm going to tell you like I feel it, and how I feel it is, sometimes it's important to turn the cheek. You have to know tact. You have to be strategic. You have to know when it's time to walk away from a fight, when it's time to save your energy for a very long and strenuous battle. And you also have to know when it's time to just look up and smirk and punch them in the face. Some people just need to be punched in the face, and I need you to take this brutal honesty and use it constructively, because that's what I have for you. Brutal honesty. Folks, this POS is responsible for what happened in Wayne County. Democrat Wayne County board member of canvassers threatened the 2 Republican members who refused to certify ballots. And this is Christina Layla. We're going to say goodbye to Kristen Taylor, and we're going to say hello to Christina Layla from the Gateway Pundit. This too is from just a little while ago. It just came out as reported earlier. The 2 Republicans on the 4-member board of canvassers for Wayne County, Michigan, reversed course Tuesday night, voting to certify the county's election results after initially refusing to do so due to irregularities in polling books, mainly in the city of Crooked Arse, Detroit. The 4-member board comprised of 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans, earlier deadlocked at 2-2. We've read that about 6 times. However, after listening to residents' concerns, we read that about 6 times as well. This is the guy, Ned Stabler, the far-left Democrat on the board of canvassers, threatened Hartman and Palmer during an online conference call, a public conference call. He called them racists. There it is. There's your critical race theory. There it is right there. That's how the Democrats do it. That's how they win. They do the BLM Antifa terrorism game, the redefining of terms game, and everybody that goes against their crooked, wicked, cruel, evil, slimy, demonous agenda is a racist. Of course. Just how radical is Ned Stabler? He supports Black Lives Matter and Antifa terrorists, like I just said, and he promotes violence against Trump supporters. People have been looking it up and finding these things. Look, many disturbing and deeply bigoted tweets found on @Ned Stabler's deranged Twitter account. Maybe we should take a look at that for a second. Look at this guy. Oh, geez. Ned Black Lives Matter Stabler. That is who they were going up against. That was one of the people that votes for certification of election. Do you think that this is a neutral guy? I want to ask you, if you believe that Ned Black Lives Matter Stabler is a neutral party, an unbiased voter, somebody who's going to vote with the best interest of people in mind without having a bias and really just do their job neutrally about the counts, the audits of the ballots, what's going on? Do you really think that? If you think that with somebody that puts their pronouns in their names, and has Black Lives Matter in their name there, that has to virtue signal all of that crap, if you have to do that, you are not a non-biased party. That man should not be on the board and not have the power of a vote. Plain and simple. Let's see. KK Kaylee. That's what he thinks of our press secretary. Kaylee McEnany. KK Kaylee just quoted. But who's going to tell? This is ridiculous. See, it's certified. I have papers. See that? It's certified. He's bitching and moaning. KKK Kaylee just quoted this person, but who's going to tell her that they caved? It's certified. He's talking about the elections. He's talking about how he rigged it, how he BS'd it, how he jumbled the system by threatening the Republicans who didn't have enough backbone, who didn't have enough testicular fortitude, who didn't have enough spine to stand their ground. Plain and simple. Waste. It's just a waste. We can look. He's retweeting DavChat. What is this? Newly famous Republican democracy saboteurs and egregious racists. Thank you for speaking out, Ned. They're talking about the council people. He called them racists. Oh my God, she said this while acknowledging that Livonia is 95% white and has more variance than Detroit, 80% black. I mean, they make it all about race. And it's not about race. It's about socialism. It's about categorizing people of different classes and pitting them against each other for political gain that will eventually lead to something much worse. That's where this goes. And that's what this is. It isn't about black and white. It isn't, folks. Look, he's a county official responsible for certifying elections in Michigan, and he promotes violence against Trump supporters, guys. It's horrible. It is horrible. On the day after Antifa attacks that were happening on Saturday in D.C. on women and children, the official Ned Stabler supported a tweet praising violence against his political opponents. Folks, I watched that man get knocked out cold and fall down face first in the street. I watched that journalism student walking around punching people in the back of the head. I watched children crying and being harassed. There are people still in the hospital. Somebody got stabbed. And this person who certifies votes, who has power in this city, who bullied and harassed and threatened the Republicans who didn't have, I'll just say it, pardon my language, the balls to stand up for what's right, to stand up for their country, to stand up for the Constitution. He bulldozed right over them, and we're just supposed to support these people. We're just supposed to support a city that elects what I would consider treasonous criminals to elected posts. It's absolutely horrific. It's horrific. It's like I said in the intro. Have you ever had a dream? You know, I know that was a quote from The Matrix. Have you ever had a dream that you couldn't wake up from, but you didn't know, you know, how would you know if that was the dream world or the real world? Is this a dream? Because this looks like a horror movie. This is insanity. This is somebody that would have been locked up for having mental problems 20 years ago. And now in 2020, in our bizarro critical race theory BS world where everybody has paper skin and nobody has the will, not nobody, but a lot of people don't have the will to stand up to the left because they've shifted the definition. They're scared of being called racist. Is this really the real world? Is this the world we live in? This is what we're fighting against, ladies and gentlemen. But I am confident this is all going to plan. Remember, Sidney Powell came out earlier and she had said that she strongly advises against any state certifying their results. They have bombshell evidence. The Kraken has been released. The Krakening is in process. And these states are going to crack into pieces when they find out that they've certified fraud. And with the demeanor of the president, I'm really not worried about what's saying. And we're going to go to the president's Twitter here. All right. This just came out a little bit earlier. He said, wow, Michigan just refused to certify the election results. Having courage is a beautiful thing. The USA stands proud. And, you know, I'm glad that he was proud of them for a second. You know, this looked good. This looked like a great thing. He truthfully was praising these people, right? And look at all these horrible people. It was bogus, horse crap. The votes were certified, make right with God, all this stuff. Look at this, these horrible, hating people, these hate-bound people. But he found out as things went on, and you can see, look, I'll show you right here. Flip Michigan back to Trump. Detroit, not surprisingly, has tremendous problems. The total number of ballots cast in Wayne County was about 863,000. Without Wayne County, Biden's lead in Michigan flips to 177,000 Trump lead. So yes, certifying Wayne County is a big deal. The state of Michigan will now be tasked with attempting certification. That led to him praising them. Let's go up. That led to them being praised. We'll find it anyway. That led to him praising them, like we had just read a second ago, for certifying the elections, for having that bravery. And then they caved. Something happened. He talks about certain things. It's really quite simple. You just can't have more votes than people. And that's true. The books didn't add up. They had so many more votes than people. Those votes need to be audited, recounted, audited again. And if they're not good, thrown the hell out. So obviously those two caved, right? Those two caved. And Where was it? I move so fast on the mouse here, guys. I really do apologize. I saw this just a little bit earlier. Well, I can't find the particular tweet that I was looking for, but I can end it on this note because I think some stuff got censored. There's all kinds of little weird things I'm seeing up here that are different than earlier, and Twitter does go in that. See even this where it says this claim about election fraud is disputed. His stuff gets censored and disappears all the time, but I will bring us to Kayleigh McEnany, who said after presenting 234 pages of sworn affidavits raising allegations of fraud in Wayne County, Michigan voting, the Wayne County Board of Canvassers has declined to certify their portion of the Michigan vote, right? Then they swapped it. Folks, I don't see anything other than what's supposed to be happening. So this looks like a bad thing, right? It looks like a bad thing. But what I want you to understand is that this still goes up to the Supreme Court. It still goes up. They appeal, it moves up. They appeal, it moves up. And it will be decided at the highest court in the land. Some of these will get dropped. Some of these will change. But the president concedes nothing. And in the beginning of all of this, I said, even before this shenanigans happened, you can look back at my videos way before the election, I said the president is going to win with a 305 plus margin, even bigger, a major landslide. And even through when they cheated, the Democrats came through and rigged this, when the Dominion voting system stuff happened. I mean, all of this is going to come to light. It's going to come to light, and it's going to literally be like a nuclear blast against the left. They're not going to know what hit them. Their eyes are going to practically melt in the sockets of their heads, and their spellbound, gasping faces will be frozen in eternity because they don't comprehend the truth. It isn't us living in this dream world that I've been talking about the whole time, that Matrix quote that I made. There was a point to that. It is them. The Democrats are living in a dream that they can't wake up from. And we're about to blow the lid off of this. When it goes up to the Supreme Court and decisions are made that really haven't been seen, even to a minor extent, since the 19th century, since the 1800s, 1876, those times, when this happens, when we get to the precipice, when we get to the peak and we hit the crescendo and the blast takes off, they're not going to know what hit them. Their minds are going to literally explode. We have no idea how the left is going to react. And I really believe, in a way, that that might be what the president's been saving the Insurrection Act for. You know, he didn't use it during all the crazy riots. But if you have half the country believing a lie, living in a dream world, trying to fight for, defend a fake reality, a reality where Trump didn't win this election, what's going to happen when their dreams are taken from them, when their bubble is burst? What's going to happen? What violence? What unrest? I think we're going to see civil unrest, the likes of which we've never seen. And again, I think that is what Trump's been saving the Insurrection Act for. I could be wrong. I'm wrong about a lot of stuff, but I'm also right about a ton of stuff. And if you've been listening to me for a while now, you'll know that. And I'm sure you believe that. And I want to thank you so much. Well, first, before I thank you, I want you to participate. I want you to get feedback back to me. Let me know in the comments section. Talk to me about this Insurrection Act thing. First, let me know, do you think that what I went through on here was accurate? I really believe so. I did my research, I did my homework, and I believe 100% what is happening here is ridiculous and illegal. And I want to get your take on this. I also want to know, like I just said, do you believe Trump has been saving the Insurrection Act for the historic unrest that will come after the election calls from the mainstream media are flipped and they have no choice but to declare President Trump the winner down the road from now? Folks, thank you so much for listening. I worked really hard to put this together. I don't half-ass anything. I'm a U.S. Navy veteran, and I work for you. I really appreciate it. Like I said earlier, go to my Parler page. at the James Lane. Subscribe, or actually follow me there. Hit the notification bell. Head to YouTube, head to Rumble, depending on wherever you're watching this. Hit the subscription bell, or the subscription button. Hit the notification bell. If you have any feedback that you want to give me, any questions, any way you'd like to help, send me an email directly. I respond to everybody. That's James Lane at American Revelry. That's REVEILLE.com. James Lane at AmericanRevelry.com. Our website is www.americanrevelry.com. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Bye. Oh, good. I am glad you're still here, comrade. I need you to do me big favor. I need you to go and hit this like button right here. I need you to hit this share button right here. And most important of all, I need you to come up here and hit the subscribe button. Yes, you have to hit the subscribe button and subscribe to American Revelry YouTube channel. Good. And then, comrade, when you're done, go up to the parlor. All right, I need you to find the parlor. Go into your app store, your Google Play Store, and find Parler, Parler. Okay, Parler. And when you get on the Parler, either in the app or www.parler.com, you come and find at the James Lane. The James Lane, the owner and the president of the American Revelry. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you this so much, and I look forward to building gigantic, united, right-wing community with you.